Hello everyone, welcome back to Xavier's Kitchen. So today what we'll be doing is another classic sauce. So this basically is being taught to every person who enters culinary schools. So this is going to be mayonnaise today. So to make mayonnaise, you need simple ingredients. You just need egg, you need a plain oil. So you don't need a strong oil, you need a neutral oil. So we'll be using that, some mustard and your seasonings, your garlic, your pepper, your salt. But today, we are not going to do the traditional version. We are going to do a modified version. So today what we'll be doing, we'll only be using eggs, we'll be using oil, but we won't be using mustard. We'll be using the lemon juice as usual, but since it's locked down and not all of us can find mustard. In fact, I myself couldn't find mustard. So if you all don't have an ingredient, I don't have that ingredient too. So we'll be making without the mustard. And later on, once everything comes back normal, we will do the original recipe. Alright, so let's start making the mayonnaise. So to make mayonnaise, the equipment I'm using is my hand blender. Now if you don't have a hand blender, you can use the electric hand blender which you have with two whisks, or you can manually do it with a whisk, or another option, the closest to this one, you can use a mixi jar. So I'll tell the process. Now I'll be adding 2 eggs inside, and this process is going to break all the classical French cooking methods. We won't be adding oil drop by drop, we'll be adding in like a fixed amount of oil, because this is going to emulsify in a lightning manner, so we won't be using this one. So but if you're going to do it manually with your whisk, you will have to be doing it drop by drops, because only a little amount of oil can be absorbed by the egg at one period of time. So you need to add it drop by drop, and then you can increase your quantity. But when you're using equipment or a machinery that goes at a high speed, you can add the oil in a large quantity. So let's begin. So I've got 2 eggs over here. So for 2 eggs, we'll be using around 250 ml of oil. So the standard ratio is 1 egg to 150 ml of oil. But theoretically, it is actually 1 egg to 120 ml of oil. So, but again, depending on the quality of the egg, your oil emulsification process happens. So for this, we'll be we have taken an oil. So this is neutral oil. Now, when I say neutral oil, it means an oil which has no flavor. So now if I'm using over here sunflower oil. Now if you take other oils like groundnut oil, they have a strong flavor. You don't want those kind of oils in while making mayonnaise, because it ruins the taste. So use a plain oil which doesn't have any flavor. Over here I'm using sunflower oil. So see, now again, as I said, we are not following the classical French cooking method, so I'm adding quite an amount at the beginning itself, so it's not drop by drop. And now we'll be doing it in sequences, and seasoning will be done at the end. So you start, and at the beginning you can see it is very thin. It's very thin, and it's not like mayonnaise. So don't worry, it will come together. So now again we'll be adding some oil. Okay, so like I said, you don't have to add it drop by drop, so it's large quantities at once. So now we'll start. So now, as you can see, this is how thick it is, but still we have to complete the oil. And if it becomes thick, sometimes the blender will have it will run a bit slow because it is too thick. So that time you can thin it out by adding some milk or little bit of water. So now this is the final shot of oil. So now if you find your mayonnaise too oily, but if you would have added more oil to your mayonnaise and you can see oil floating on top, just blend it a little more, or if it still doesn't work, just add in a little bit of milk or water. That will thin out the process. And the final shot. Alright, so there you go. This is your mayonnaise, and now we'll be adding the seasoning. So for the seasoning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add lemon juice. Now if you don't have lemon juice, you can use vinegar, but I have lemon juice I'm using, and lemon juice is much more stronger than vinegar, so it has more flavor. So now you must be careful. If you add too much, you will have it a bit too much sourness in it. And this is very important because we are all used to store-bought mayonnaise. Now in store-bought mayonnaise, you have this perfect balance of sweetness and sourness. To achieve that, you need lemon juice. so we get the store-bought taste. So I'm going to add some lemon juice in. Now again, you can add little, but in one shot, if you add a lot, you can't remove. So add little by little, how much ever you want. So I'm adding some salt, some pepper. Now, pepper is also a must because now we don't have mustard. So basically, when you're using mustard, you have that slight tint of heat in it, and you also get the sourness from mustard. But since we are not using mustard in this recipe, we will be using black pepper. And I'm also using some powdered sugar. So this powdered sugar will give that sweetness. Now, basically, when we buy store-bought mayonnaise, always you have the sourness and sweetness in it. So to achieve that, we're adding some powdered sugar. Now you can also use granulated sugar without making it into a powder, but this reduces time. So again, give this a blitz, and you're almost done. Yes, we are done. So again, so I am happy with this mayonnaise. Now, based on your taste, again season it according to how you like. So this is enough. So you have a nice thick mayonnaise. So now you'll also you'll have to understand, if you want it more thin, add a little bit more of milk or water. So this is fine for me. We're going to add this. Alright, so the mayonnaise is done. Now, like I showed in the beginning, it was thick. Now after I added the lemon juice, it's become a bit thin. So I'm happy with this consistency. Now this isn't the final. I always like my mayonnaise to have a bit of garlic in it. So this, I finally chopped it. And now if you're serving it for kids, I would prefer to make it into a paste, or you can also use garlic powder, because kids won't like garlic. So you all can use either a paste or a powder. So now additional ingredients if you want. Now I have fennel over here. So if you don't have fennel, don't use it. But if you want, you can use fennel, dill leaves, anything you can use it. So now we'll be making the sandwich. So I'm taking a little bit of mayonnaise. So you can also use this as a spread, but I'm going to take a little bit of it to make it into the filling. So into this I'll be adding some shredded. So this is like shredded carrot. So I'll be adding this in, and this is also chopped cabbage. So you want to add this, and it must be chopped a bit. So I'll be adding this one. So at the moment, this is at the stage of something called a simple salad, the mixed salad. It's called a coleslaw. So this is what you get at KFC. This is the salad. To this, I'm adding some more sugar, and I'm adding chicken. So this is just boiled chicken which I've chopped up. Now again, the filling totally depends upon you. Instead of chicken, you can also add egg, or you can add tofu, paneer, anything what you like. So this will be the filling. So you want to mix this nicely. Now this, kids are going to like it. So you don't have to spend money and go outside and buy sandwiches. You can just make this simple sandwich. The mayonnaise easily will do in the fridge for about a week or two. And anytime you want, you can use it. So I've got sandwich breads over here. And you're going to remove the crumb. So you want to remove the crumb. Once this is done, you want to lay your bread. So this is it, and we'll be applying the filling. So you need to apply a generous amount of filling. Alright, so the sandwiches are done. Now, very simple sandwiches. And then you just have to close them. Alright, so these are done, but if you want, you can upgrade them. So I've got some cucumber over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel them into strips. So you can get strips like this. Now what I'm going to do is, watch me. So I've got layers of cucumber like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer them. I'm going to layer them like this. and you just layer one by one. See, all of this is just for the eye appeal. Now when you work in the industry, one thing is very important is the eye appeal. Your eye always eats before your mouth does. So this is very important. So what we'll be doing is we'll be keeping one bread on top, just finding the length, and then we'll be cutting it. So use a very sharp knife so you get crisp cuts over here. So now we'll be layering it. So what you'll be doing is start with layer 1 and you just keep going through it. 2. So you want to form like a scaled pattern on top. This is what you'll be doing. So this is going to be like very fresh. So you have cucumber. It's also healthy because you have vegetables in it. And now you can also serve it like this, or if you want to make it easy to eat, bite-sized pieces, you just cut. Now like I said, you need a very sharp knife so you don't spoil and you have crisp cuts. So there you go, there's one. So now you have sandwiches like this. So this is one technique where also at the industry we serve this for high tea purposes. Alright, so we cut the sandwiches. Now let's serve them. So now again depends on how you want to present. So I like to keep one here, keep this there. So then you take another one, go line them. So they're going to look very pretty. So high tea, the British high tea, afternoon tea, they say it like this. You have sandwiches, also the spreads are different. We use chicken liver pate, and you have pastries, good amount of pastries too. So we started with mayonnaise and now we have a sandwich over here. Very simple. You can make this during the lockdown period. It's an easy snack. You can have it with tea, coffee. I have some Pepsi over here. So serve it with some Pepsi. And so I've got some fennel prawns here. You can also basically you can just plant them with your fennel seeds, and you have these wonderful microgreens, what we call in our industry. So these are it. So you just want to, yeah. So there you go. This is my salad, which is given for your sandwich, and we started off with mayonnaise, and now you have a complete sandwich. Easy, very simple. During this lockdown, you can make it, and also after the lockdown. So please do try this and comment down below, and also don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And most important, hit the bell icon below so you get notifications. So I guess all of you like this episode. Because it's very simple and it's the basics. So you'll learn how to make a mayonnaise and a pretty looking sandwich. There you go.